So I just saw this video and it's called What Women Actually Find Attractive. It does make some pretty good points, but there are some raw truths that are missing that most guys are not going to want to hear. But I'm going to break it down anyway. So let's get started.
The biggest mistake guys make when trying to become more attractive to women is that they often do it through the perspective of the male gaze instead of the female gaze. Now this got me thinking, how can women be so into tall, jacked, masculine guys, but at the same time, loads of women are attracted to members of BTS? And how are sometimes attractive women together with men who look just about average? So here's what I realized. What women are attracted to has a huge variance, and the biggest mistake we make as guys is to try to cut it down to science, when it's anything but that. In this video, we're going to teach you the difference between what guys think women want versus what women actually find attractive. Part 1, the female gaze at its core is story-driven. There's a reason why the best-selling books every year are romance novels, and their biggest consumers are women. It's the same reason why artists and musicians throughout history have been loved by women. They use their creativity to tell a story. You also tell a story every time you walk out of a door. As a guy, you just don't realize it. The way you dress, your choice of hair.
What do you think is the best hairstyle a guy can have?
Fluffy middle part, high fade. If you have a mullet, it's good. Like long out of the face, the longer hair, just like wavy.
The way you walk, the way you hold eye contact.
You love design, so you're basically a match made in heaven, right, guys?
Yeah.
And your body language. These all tell a story and women pick up on them.
You are the story at the end of the day. And women don't just read novels, they read you. They read your body language, they read your frame, and they read your lifestyle. And your lifestyle is the romance novel. The main reason why I went viral for getting with this one chick within 20 minutes, before I left, I told her, meet me outside. We met outside, we started making out.
He just met her like fucking 20 minutes ago. Oh my god.
We sang very minimal words, but it's because my presence told the story. I immediately was like, I like this girl. I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna talk to her, and I already know she's into me. And so I already knew how it was gonna play out. And that energy and that vibe that she felt and she sensed from me is what caused her to want to make out with me in front of all of her friends. And I guarantee there's probably a bunch of guy friends. They were trying to hit on this girl for the longest time, and I roll up within 20 minutes and start making out with this girl. Your presence is the most important factor.
But even when it comes down to looks, there's a huge variance in types. Women have preferences when it comes to a guy's ethnicity. They have preferences when it comes to a man's body type. Make a guy a bit more feminine, and you have Zayn Malik. Make him more masculine, and you have Chris Hemsworth. But remember, these are just ideals. As a guy yourself, you might like tall blondes. But that doesn't mean that you'll say no to short brunettes. So just like women have a type, that doesn't mean that they are automatically rejecting everything else.
Women don't have a universal type, okay? So they have a hierarchy of traits that they'll trade off for other things. A guy with an average face, doesn't have a chiseled jawline, but if he has supreme frame, doesn't give a fuck about what the girl thinks, it is going to beat a male model who is needy, weak, and feminine to the girl. So this is what's important at the end of the day, is you might not be born with height, right? I'm 5'7", okay? But I've dated girls who are supermodels who are 3-4 inches taller than me, and I've taken them out on $1 ice cream dates. We ended up having sex within the first couple of hours of meeting each other. Now, you could just give up right there. Like, I'm not even going to try because there's guys who are taller than me, there's guys who are more attractive than me, whatever. But the reality is you can beat them in other areas that you can actually grow in. You can actually grow how strong you are when it comes to women. You can actually grow your ability to pass girls' tests. You can actually grow your skill sets when it comes to branding who you are. Because there's no point for me trying to compete in height and only playing off my height. I'm not going to win. It's an uphill battle. It's a race to the bottom. But what I can compete in is my frame, my communication skills, right? My charisma, how I smile, how I look at them, my body language. These are all things that I can compete with, and these are all things that I will win at because that's what I focus on. If what I'm saying makes sense to you, wait until you see what I've been building behind the scenes. Everyone inside of my exclusive Telegram group will hear about it first, and the link is in the bio.
For some reason, when guys discover women's desire to have a man who's tall, rich, and fit, it makes them feel insecure about themselves and hopeless. If you spend an hour in any busy downtown square and observe couples through your male gaze, here's what you'll notice. Average guys with average girls, and average guys with beautiful girls. This is because through the female gaze, women don't view male attractiveness as a purely physical equation. As men, we put so much effort into improving our physical attractiveness, and it's the only thing we compare when we see a couple. Now don't get me wrong, women crave a guy with a V-taper, just like us men are attracted to women with an hourglass body. At the end of the day, the first thing a woman sees when she first meets you is your face, right? Your humor, voice, smell, charisma, skills, your love language, and so many other aspects still determine how attractive you are through the female gaze. Women are attracted to so much more than just looks.
They're completely right. Average guys get with hot girls all the fucking time. I've seen some of the fattest dudes with some super hot models. The biggest thing that they're missing though is about frame control and manipulation, okay? And this is why some of the most average looking guys win when it comes to dating super hot women. And recently, I had a client who has been texting me insane testimonials nonstop, going on different dates. And he isn't super tall, okay? He isn't a male model, and he's also not rich either. He's pulled these girls because he's rewired his behavior around women. Over the past couple of months that I've been coaching him, he's been changing his behavior, he's been changing how he's been showing up, he's been changing how he passes these girls' tests when they test him. He's now more prepared than ever.
4. The female gaze is dynamic. Let me explain. If a girl is not attracted to a guy at first sight, the physical attraction can still grow a ton once she knows more about you. The majority of men fall into the yeah, he's alright category. As the girl gets to know him, he can either fumble it into, you, I would never, or elevate into, he's so hot. This is a bit hard to understand as a guy because when we see a beautiful girl at first, we fall in love instantly.
Women's attraction is very, very fluid. It's a constant roller coaster. One day she's super heavily in love with you, the next day she's wanting to get a divorce. This is just how women are, and attraction grows only when she's investing, okay? And her attraction can just immediately plummet to nothing if you're the one investing in her. There was a girl, and this is the girl that I lost my virginity to. This girl I've been talking to for months and months and months. And she was not into me like she said she was. She said I was cute, whatever. She said she liked talking to me, but she never made an effort to actually meet up with me in person and actually go on a date. And then when I stopped talking to her and I just started focusing on girls who actually cared about me, which happened to be one of her friends, then that's when she entered back into my frame and she started to chase. And she actually cut off that friend from coming over to my house to beat her to meeting me at my place. And that's when I lost my virginity. Saying that, oh, this guy that used to text me all day constantly, he's no longer texting me, he's no longer calling me, and now I am upset about that. Most men fumble there because they don't know how to hold the frame though. And they don't know how to hold the frame long enough to build attraction. Because here's the thing, well, if I went back into simping for this girl right when she met up with me, or right when she said, hey, I'm coming over instead of my friend, and I started to simp for her, said, oh my God, oh, I've always wanted you, oh my God, you're so amazing, you're so hot, whatever. If I went to go back into that frame of weakness, attraction immediately plummets. However, if you can maintain your frame and not get weak to women over time, that's where the real love, that's where the real attraction can build, because that's where the trust comes from. What that means is she trusts your masculine core. And when women can trust your masculine core and she knows that she can't push you off your center, she knows that she can't test you and you're going to fail, and she knows that you're not going to become weak for her at any point in time, that's when she can trust you, because that's when she understands and knows that if I cannot manipulate this guy anymore, then no other woman can either. And that's why I'm going to invest more into him. And then when she invests more into you, that's when she starts to like you more and to love you more and respect you more.
Let's talk about the 3 things that absolutely belong to the female gaze: height, income, and status. We've all heard the phrase 6 figures, 6 feet, and a 6-pack.
6 inches.
All of these things are attractive, but most guys still get it wrong. When girls say they want a taller guy, this is a relative statement. It means that they want a man who's taller than them, and the same goes for income and status. Statistically, most couples have this one thing in common. The man is only a few inches taller than the woman, and the man makes only a bit more money. Status is a bit harder to calculate, but we can assume that this is probably true as well. And let's be honest, most guys lie about their height, which has given rise to false expectations of what 6 feet actually looks like. So as long as you're a few inches taller and make slightly more money than the woman you want to attract, you're going to be all right.
At the end of the day, what women say and what they do is completely different. Every single girl that I've heard say I only date guys who are 6 feet tall, I've dated all of them. Okay? Every single girl that says I only date guys who make this much money, I dated all of them when I was broke as well. When I hear girls say that, oh, I want a guy who's like this or that, usually it's the complete opposite, okay? And it's because how women feel and what they think logically are completely different things, okay? So that's the first thing.
Wide appeal versus niche maxing.
Yes.
A lot of men's content on improving attractiveness can sometimes spread the feeling that you need to appeal to as many people as possible. Some traits are universal, such as having good skin and an aesthetic body. But trying to appeal to as many girls as possible is pretty much impossible. Instead, find your niche and thrive in that area. If you're a gym guy and you're into bodybuilding, you're most likely going to attract fitness girls who share the same passions as you.
Yes.
Looking at human psychology, most people end up together with people who are in their relative class and ethnic group.
You notice that's why all the influencers are dating other influencers. That's why all the rappers are dating other rappers. That's why you see all the celebrities dating other celebrities. Because in their niche, in their bubble, that's the people that they're around. That's the people that's in their mind. I go to a lot of Hollywood parties, a lot of events. It's very rare when you see a model or influencer girl meet a guy who's a fan and start getting a relationship with him. It's actually probably fucking impossible why that will happen. And the guy who's not in her bubble is not going to be seen as the alpha in her mind. The guy who's going to be seen as the alpha, let's say for these fitness girls, whatever the fuck, the guy who's going to be seen as the alpha is probably the guy who has the most followers, the most clout, the guy who's the most famous in that space, if that makes sense. So, and it could apply to different niches as well. It could apply to your work environment. It could apply to whatever bubble or space that these girls are in. If you guys look at my Instagram, the archetype that I leaned into was the playboy, fun, party, lifestyle guy. I did not lean much into my military archetype, even though I came from the Marine Corps. I don't want to attract those types of girls. And so when you understand what kind of girls you are appealing to, you can actually better attract them. So for example, I have a lot of clients who are just purely looking to get married. They just want one girl and they don't want multiple like me. And that's completely fine. But the thing is, I'm also still able to build them a brand built around what they are looking for, so it attracts those types of girls. I'm also able to build them an entire plan and system around what environments and areas they need to be in, what places they need to be around, and get invited into to find more of those high quality women. Because you can't attract every single woman. James Bond is going to appeal probably to another demographic of women, maybe an older demographic of women, but he might not appeal to a younger group of girls in college. This is why it's important to understand and to look at things from the female gaze, not the male gaze. Because all guys in the day, we all want to be like James Bond, we all want to be like Batman, we all want to be like this. But you have to understand what types of women do these guys attract. And if you don't understand that, it's not going to help you attract the girls that are going to most benefit you and your mission, your purpose. So that's why inside of my deeper levels of coaching, I teach guys how to actually build a brand around the girls they're trying to attract.
Girls don't like nice guys because it shows their weakness and desperate feelings to win her attention. Naturally, women want something they can't have over something they can easily get.
Yeah.
So not giving a girl too much attention is not necessarily a bad thing. That's why women like bad boys. Not because they are criminals or dangerous, but because they represent certain traits that are attractive. They're typically confident, social, and stand up for themselves and the people around them. Girls like a guy who sets boundaries and doesn't let people run over him.
Yeah, and they nailed it right here. Women don't want guys who are nice. They want men they can't fully have. They want guys they cannot master. And there's a good quote from a book that Stefan Arnio wrote. And women want mastery over a man that cannot be mastered. Okay? And it's not about being a criminal. It's not about doing illegal shit. It's about being uncompromising. It's about never changing who you are for her. It's about never losing your frame for her and her wants and whatever the fuck she says. Right? Because women are going to test what you say. And I get a lot of shit for this all the fucking time when I say I don't want a girl who has social media and is posting ass pictures for other guys to like. Because I've dated girls like this and it's never ended well. And so I have a clear boundary that I tell everyone on my YouTube videos and in the girls that I date in person. I tell them I don't like girls and I don't take girls seriously who have social media. Right? We can be friends. We can be fuck buddies. But I can never date a girl who has social media, because to me that seems like they're just trying to seek attention and validation, and I'm just not into it. And I've had many girls get mad at this fact that after we go on a few dates, we start having sex, and they mention, oh, what are you looking for in a partner? And I list all the things I don't like about them, okay? And a lot of them get mad. But you know what's funny? All of them come back a few days later, maybe even weeks later, saying, hey, how's it going, right? Because what I say is final. I'm not going to change what I say or what I want in a partner or a relationship to please a girl, even if she's super hot, even if she's super fucking attractive, okay? I'm not going to change who I am, my beliefs, to fit the girl. You know what's funny? Even though she might disagree with me, she can't change that she's attracted to me because she knows that, fuck, this guy did not change his ways for me despite all the other guys doing it for me because how hot I am. This is the only guy who is willing to lose me over what he wanted. That's why I like him the most. And that's why, despite me being short, I'm still able to do extremely well with women. This video makes a lot of solid points, but it does leave out some real realities and some deeper info that you need to understand about women. If you want to learn how to actually build these things into your dating life, all you need to do is click the link down below, and we are going to help you build out your brand, build out your niche, build out who you are as a man to attract the right women. And this is what's going to help you go from invisible women to being desired, dominant, and actually understanding women to a deeper level. I'm dropping something in the next few weeks for the guys who have been following me for a while. And if you're not up to date with my YouTube videos or my podcast or even the Telegram group chat, you're going to miss out.